Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we'll be looking at the story The Runner of Pern that by McCaffrey and A Gift of Dragons. Before I get into this short story or novella, I just ask if you please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. You can do that within 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That would be cool. So anyway, this is more like a novella. It's a little over 100 pages. And the runner of Pern, the runners, were used a lot in the Master Harper of Pern. So if you're not familiar with that, you may want to go back to that video. But basically what the runners are is, it's like a mail service. They deliver packages, messages, letters, but they do so on their feet. I mean, there are runner beasts that they can run, that they can ride, but these runners, they run on their own 2 feet, on their legs, with spike shoes and on traces. And that's where this story comes in, is the rider Tenna, who's been running for 2 terms. She's on her first crossing, which is like a big run. She's on the trace, and she is basically almost run over by Halligan, who is a Lord Holder's son. And as she dives out of the way, she gets into this very kind of spiky plant with a lot of thorns, and they get in her skin. And she's able to make it to the next running station, and they take really good care of her. They, there's the chance that there could be infections, so that she's constantly in a big bathtub and getting salves put on her, and getting really good meals. But she can't run for 3 days, and that leads into the gather that is at that station, at that fort. And she figures she's going to give Halligan a what for, because he's not supposed to be using the traces if he's riding a running beast and a cart. So she makes some friends within this running station, and they're basically like, yeah, you need to give him a what for, because he's been doing it to us all for a long time now, and we're tired of it. So at the beginning of the gather, she sees who she thinks is Halligan. They've pointed him out, saying he's wearing brown. And she goes basically up to him, and he's kind of eyeing her up and down, like, kind of like what I see there. And then she just hauls off and decks him in the chin. And he goes down into like a pile of droppings from the draft animals and stuff like that. And she turns around and walks away. And another guy comes up after her, and he's like, what was that for? What, I don't get it. So she explains what happened and what's been going on. And when she reaches the table where her friend Rosa is sitting, she's like, you hit the wrong guy. You hit his brother. You ended up walking back and talking to Halligan, but you weren't giving him the what for. So anyway, she gets this apology from the Lord Holder himself, which is a big deal. She has these running shoes that were leather that she would like to make running shoes out of, but can't afford. And Halligan ends up buying them for her as his apology, for saying, I'm a dimwit, I shouldn't have been doing that, please forgive me. And they end up spending the whole gather together, and they eat together, they do a lot of dancing together, and he sort of gives a little impression of saying, hey, I know you got to run again, but maybe sometime you can run a little bit over here more, and maybe we can breed some beast runners and maybe some runners of our own. So it's dropped that he really likes her and that he wants to be with her. Whether that's going to happen or not, it's left up to the reader, because she walks off saying, hey, yeah, the idea of, producing running beasts and runners on two legs may not be a bad idea, because she really likes him too. She considers him more of a temptation than he thinks he is. So with this story, I was really doing my best to try to give it the best rating that I could, but 4 stars was the best that I could really do, just because there wasn't really a lot going on here. There's some character redemption, which is always nice to see, but I just think compared to some of the other stories, um, it could have been more. So 4 stars on Goodreads. It's in A Gift of Dragons. I would say if you have the anthology, read it. There's a couple of nice illustrations in there too. So yeah, with that, again, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you. I always respond. And until next time, keep YouTube literate, and God bless.